The wonderful thing about Bombay in the 50s and 60s is it was a very vibrant Western classical music loving society. And then it all petered out. And then in the 70s, 80s, 90s, it was almost a sterile period for classical music.
There's actually no such focal point where people can come and learn about music, study music, even take teachers training courses, and I think this is a very basic human need.
When you have the power of music to calm you, rather than a computer game or a TV show, then you actually come much more refreshed to your academics, and you actually would have a capacity to do much better.
So the music touches you where words don't touch you.
And I think this is what we are trying to achieve, to give children an opportunity to discover music.
The Mehli Mehta Music Foundation was started in 1995 to pay tribute to the late Mehli Mehta, father of the world-renowned conductor Zubin Mehta, and to do one very simple thing: to bring back the music into the ears and the hearts of the people of Mumbai.
They are bringing back Western classical music and a love of the music and an ability to play the music back into the city, but above all with children.
We are trying to see that Western classical music reaches out to as many people as it can.
Where else is there a place like this? When the child is introduced to the sound of the Western music, to the instruments of Western music, and to the singing, it is a different picture, and a much more all-round picture of what should happen in a musical career.
And I think the Mehli Mehta Music Foundation wants to show everyone in the city of Bombay that given the right opportunities and the right circumstances, anyone can be a musician.
So how do you bring back a love and an appreciation for music in a city that has no time to breathe, let alone listen? The Mehli Mehta Music Foundation believes in starting very young, by helping children to listen to live with, and to infuse music into their beings from a very tender age, through a class that the foundation calls Discover Music.
I'm going to bang it to see if it makes a sound. Is it a percussion instrument? 5 little peas in the wee pot rest. They grew and they grew and they did not stop. Till one day the pot went.
Some of the innovative methods that we've learned to incorporate is we use a lot of props to further and teach the children.
Put your hand up when the sound stops.
if we're teaching rhyme, very often we will use a hand puppet or a puppet or a stick puppet or a toy.
Hey, Mr. Crocodile, you can't catch me. What's that?
We use lycra, we use scrunchies. So for example, I will say, hello, what's your name? And I will throw the ball. And the child has to learn to answer back, throw the ball, and find her or his own rhythm so that he can sing and act at the same time. So we're teaching children to understand music without even knowing or realizing that that's what they've done.
You can see that they all love coming here. Sometimes they don't want to leave after class, they just sit around there.
The foundation offers a more conventional musical education in a few instruments as well, from voice and choir to the piano and the violin, but all taught in a more unconventional way, through love rather than rote.
All the children in the choir don't read music. They are not students of music. They just come to sing. There are some who are studying at the Mehli Mehta Foundation or privately. So everybody is not on the same level musically. So I try and throw information at them, and they are very interested.
There's so many lovely songs, and in the choir we learn very good exercises which they don't teach in schools. They train our voice to keep our voice fit.
I really enjoy teaching the piano over here because I find the atmosphere very, very conducive to music.
They make sure you understand the concept, and then they go on with the next thing. You haven't understood, you can tell them and they'll make you understand.
That's it. You understood? Do that once again. I can sort of interact with them and try to bring out the music which is inside each child.
She taught me flats, she's taught me sharps, she's taught me notes, she's taught me joint notes, she's taught me many things, and she's taught me how to read, she's taught me how to play.
We had one child here in the ensemble, and when he came to me first, he had been struggling to play the violin for quite some time, and initially even I thought maybe he really does not want to do it. And once we started this ensemble thing, when they started playing with others, everything started making sense to them, and they really started enjoying. And that child who once upon a time wanted to really give up and stop, he was sitting there and playing and enjoying. And he is one child who does not want to miss a single class or an ensemble practice.
musician.
And finally, the foundation hosts a string of other activities like concerts and master classes, all meant to help weave the magic of music into the very fabric of the city, and hopefully one day the country as well.
I've come to India for a recital that the Mehli Mehta Music Foundation asked me to give at the NCPA, and I'm such a huge admirer of everything that they do, and all of the wonderful music that they've brought to concerts in Bombay, so I was naturally excited to do it.
It is also important for the institution to interact with the parents and to show the parents that, look, this is what your child has achieved. So we organize these concerts or open days to just to motivate them.
On the day of the concert, I was actually not very nervous because I was happy that I was playing in a concert, and when I started playing, I realized that it was not so difficult as I thought.
I just remember I was really nervous and I thought I would play terribly, but just once I got to the piano and once I found myself in the music, I found that I was enjoying myself.
Already the work of the foundation is beginning to bear rich fruit, not just for the children, but for the parents as well, as the children inevitably carry their newfound love for music back into their homes.
I would say Zari, the Music Foundation, has helped him gain a greater knowledge of music. And then one day I remember I was very, very pleased that a child of 3.5 or 3 came home and he told me, Chanu, put on some Chopin. I was very delighted. I said, Chopin, where have you learnt about Chopin? So he said, at the Mehli Mehta we had a discussion. So I was really very pleased about that.
I wanted exposure and they gave me that in a fun way.
They keep getting inputs from so many different aspects that there's no chance of being bored.
So Mehli Mehta Music Foundation has definitely increased my son, his interest in music, his ability to appreciate all kinds of music. I've taken him for all these big singers who have come here, you know. He sat down for 3 hours without blinking his eye, very carefully listening and deciding that he prefers a tenor better than the soprano. He's reached at that level.
I'm very impressed that they can actually read music.
I enrolled Ramla, my daughter, at a local pianist. I discovered 5 years later not a very productive professional relationship, because when she joined Mehli Mehta, the change was dramatic and immediate. So suddenly I found that Ramla was coming home saying things that I'd never heard her say before, which was, I just come home and I want to play the piano. So hearing that, it's quite extraordinary.
I just feel I'm more interested in this. And I learned middle C and middle D and all. And also I have learned, if you're playing with your heart, it sounds much better.
And I'm really lucky to be over here because it's such a splendid foundation. It's taught me so much.
I've started liking more classical music now.
They made a difference in my life by bringing self-confidence into me.
And I'm going to become a violinist and pianist. Because I love Mehli Mehta. So I always want to come on a Saturday. I want to compose music and make my own music. Like Zubin Mehta.